Hey guys, welcome back to the channel McNallie Money, your home of all things stock, investment, and personal finance related. In today's video, we're going to be covering a recent announcement from CleanCore Solutions getting involved in the crypto treasury space, but now in the case of Dogecoin, a big announcement marking the first Dogecoin Treasury company backed by the Dogecoin Foundation. We're going to be talking about the news along with the business model in more detail. Before we get into it, take a second, hit the like button, guys. Big help to myself and the channel. If you're not already subscribed, McNallie Money, feel free to join and let us know in the comment section below if you're currently holding shares of this company and what you think about this big announcement. With that being said, let's get into today's video. Okay guys, so that's right. Today's video, we're going to be covering CleanCore Solutions Incorporated. Before we get into it, we wanted to thank today's video sponsor, Outside of the Box Capital, for sponsoring today's video on behalf of CleanCore. Now, as you can see here, trades on the New York Stock Exchange American under the ticker ZONE or ZONE. A tremendous day in terms of activity and volume for CleanCore Solutions. Unfortunately, to the downside, 53% in trading hours, an additional 3.4% down in after hours. We're going to talk about exactly why that is, really on the backs of a massive announcement or change in strategy from the company and the market or current investors reacting to that announcement. Now, I also mentioned this was a tremendous day in terms of volume for CleanCore or ZONE. You can see average volume on this ticker around 105,000 shares. Today was 5.9 million shares trading hands. And this is a trend we've seen with a lot of these crypto treasury companies. As the market really digests or absorbs these changes in operating strategy or focus for the company. Now, CleanCore Solutions itself, we'll go over to the corporate website, cleancoresol.com. As the name implies, is involved in the cleaning, janitorial, and even ice making space. You can see a number of different solutions here, ranging again from sanitation all the way to laundry solutions. And under the About Us section, you can see the company itself is led by Clayton Adams, the CEO, an accomplished entrepreneur with an extensive experience in hypergrowth technology and reoccurring revenue business models. And we'll actually come back to some of the comments from Clayton towards the end of today's presentation, but again, wanted to underscore the fact that this is an accomplished entrepreneur, extensive experience with hypergrowth technology, which is exactly what we see in the cryptocurrency, specifically Dogecoin space. Now, this is where it gets really interesting in the CleanCore Solutions story. So we just saw, in terms of both share price and volume, a historic day for CleanCore Solutions. And again, that's related to the news article that just came out this morning entitled CleanCore Solutions, again, ticker symbol ZONE on the New York Stock Exchange, announces $175,420 private placement to build the official Dogecoin Treasury founded by the Dogecoin Foundation and the House of Doge Incorporated. Now, if you click on the press release itself, you can see there's a lot to unpack here. First and foremost, the size and scale of this private placement. $175 million, considering the size of this company, is absolutely incredible. And again, Dogecoin, which has historically been linked to Elon Musk, we'll see some of the parallels in a second here, characteristically including that 420 in the overall private placement total. Now, as you can see in the first line, Alex Spiro will immediately become chairman of the board of directors of ZONE. If that name sounds familiar, it's actually because Alex Spiro is Elon Musk's lawyer, again, a link to Elon and Dogecoin, and he's now set to chair this $200 million Dogecoin Treasury company, which is the first of its kind to actually be backed and endorsed by the Dogecoin Foundation. Now, that's really a perfect segue to the second line of the article, talking about this historic milestone. The transaction itself consisted of a group of over 80 marquee institutional and crypto native investors, including but not limited to Mozax, Pantera, GSR, FalconX, and Borderless. Upon the closing of this private placement, CleanCore will advance its treasury strategy on Dogecoin. Now, in terms of the details, this is what's known as a PIPE or private investment in public equity for the offer and sale of 175,420 pre-funded warrants at a price of $1 per pre-funded warrant, giving you the expected aggregate gross proceeds of approximately $175,420 $420 before deducting any placement agent fees or other offering expenses, which again we've covered in previous videos, to implement this Dogecoin Treasury strategy. So we've seen this taking hold on both the Bitcoin and Ethereum side of things, with countless companies flooding into this treasury space. Alex Spiro, along with CleanCore and the Dogecoin Foundation, intend to do exactly that, but using Dogecoin as that native crypto treasury. Now they go on to say this transaction creates the only official Dogecoin treasury sponsored by the Dogecoin Foundation and the House of Doge, the authorized commercial arm of the Dogecoin Foundation. You can see this is the Dogecoin Foundation website here, which is essentially a not-for-profit organization established to provide support for Dogecoin cryptocurrency through development and advocacy, Dogecoin trademark defense to prevent abuse and fraud, and a trail map for the future development of Dogecoin. And this foundation actually dates back all the way to 2014 to provide advocacy and support for the Dogecoin project, and again in support of the Dogecoin Manifesto. Now Timothy Stebbing, director at the Dogecoin Foundation and CTO of House of Doge, will also join the board alongside Chairman Alex Spiro. Marco Margiotti, Chief Executive Officer of the House of Doge, will also join the company as Chief Investment Officer, and House of Doge and 21 Shares will serve to support and advise the Treasury moving forward. Now they expect the offering itself to close on or about September 4th, so just later this week, with the company intending to use the net proceeds of the offering to acquire Dogecoin, commonly referred to as Doge, and contribute the Doge to the company's treasury operations. Doge will then serve as the company's primary treasury reserve asset. Now Marco then states Dogecoin has always been powered by its community, the most loyal and passionate in the digital asset space. By anchoring Dogecoin with an official foundation-backed treasury strategy, we're setting a precedent for how public companies can align with foundations to build real utility around digital currency while honoring the community. With CleanCore, we're creating a vehicle that we expect to unlock tremendous potential for a digital asset born from a grassroots movement that made Dogecoin and this movement possible. Now, Timothy Stebbing then goes on to say this new treasury vehicle is a fundamental step towards the House of Doge and Dogecoin Foundation's mission to bring institutional adoption to Dogecoin, similar to what we've seen in both Bitcoin and Ethereum, by laying the groundwork for institutions through treasury and ETFs with 21 shares and building underlying legitimacy as a serious currency beyond Dogecoin's meme-inspired origins. This is critical to pave the way for new real institutional adoption, as Main Street must feel confident investing in the commercial integration for payments. Now, earlier in the presentation, we looked at Clayton Adams' profile, the CEO of CleanCore, again, an avid entrepreneur passionate about cutting-edge technology. He states CleanCore has always been about challenging the status quo through innovation by anchoring our treasury with Dogecoin in partnership with the Dogecoin Foundation and House of Doge. We're adopting a forward-looking reserve strategy while proving how public companies can embrace bold change. This is a watershed moment for both CleanCore and the broader Dogecoin community, to whom we owe much thanks. And we're proud to help set the standard for what a foundation-backed digital treasury strategy can look like. So again, staying consistent to that entrepreneurial or cutting-edge technological spirit and adopting this new strategy on top of the underlying business at CleanCore to further propel value creation and legitimacy through the Dogecoin network. Now, with that being said, there's obviously going to be people on both sides of this decision, and in many cases, we've seen a similar reaction in terms of trading activity as the current investor base analyzes this new information and new investors enter the story. Now, as you can imagine, this decision has been picked up by a number of key media outlets, including the New Money, talking about the Dogecoin Foundation backing a new Dogecoin Treasury company on the NYSE. And as you scroll down, you can see some of the key highlights here, including that $175 million raise, some of the key financing partners, why this matters so much with that association to the Dogecoin Foundation, and some of the celebrity links between Alex Spiro, who again represents both Elon Musk, Jay-Z, and a number of other high-profile clients. So with that being said, I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on today's move from CleanCore, specifically if you're already holding shares of Zone. If you're still watching the video at this point, hopefully you found some value, so make sure you hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. It definitely does help broadcast this video to a larger investor audience and helps get this news out into the market. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow.